Yo guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys enjoy this video. We've been planning it for a while. Today we're going to answer your questions and yeah, we're just going to get straight into it.
Okay, let's do it. So there's quite a few questions that was sent in, and I picked 3 from it because I think it's going to help young people all over. So like it could be a 12-year-old, 18-year-old, 21-year-old, right? And obviously while you guys are still young, I wanted to kind of like make it personal for both of yous. And even if you can use some examples that maybe might help the people that have put through these questions, that would be absolutely amazing. So question number 1 is, and if you want me to elaborate on the question, I'm more than happy to do so as well. Are you okay? Yeah. All right, cool. So question number 1 is, what's one thing you wish adults understood better about being a young person today? So what is one thing you wish adults understood better about being a young person today? Does that make sense? Yeah? Cool. So that's what is it? What's one thing that you guys wish we understood? You can personalize it to that as well about young people like yourselves.
I don't know. Not really personalized. I think in general,
Yeah.
with older people, I feel like they need to not mix like don't mix their old views with how like some of the new views
Read
are.
my head straight
Do you know what I
away.
mean? Like I don't know how I don't know how to put it. Like as in, some people think a certain type of way, but then my view on it is different because of like our generation today. But not saying that some of their views aren't like fundamentally key to how I view things, but like in a sense where like, for example, what they're saying might not work today in today's society. But nonetheless, it just depends, innit?
Such an important, valid point, because I can say the same about my generation. I can say the same about my parents. Like I wish they understood us for who we are right now, being raised in a Western country, still practicing our deen, but then at the same time, our parents have come from back home where things were a certain way, and now they're here and they've stayed in a box and they haven't gone out of that box, and we've been out there learning other cultures, learning about other people, mixing, and all of a sudden they want to kind of like change us. Is it the same for you as well? Do you feel like personally it's easier, or do you feel like us as young parents right now, like we're young parent, I think we're quite fair, I think we're quite modern, I think we were brought up here so we can understand both culture, both religion, and also the way you guys have been brought up as well, right? Do you think it is how do I say it, easy? Like, is it easier for you guys? Because it ain't easy for us.
Um,
Or are you able to give me an example of something that's like that might be bugging the younger generation today that's been brought up in a Western society and we carrying a bit of culture and is it a hard one?
nah, I can't even think of like I can't think of it now.
Yeah.
No, you know.
We can get back to it. Abdul, is there like the same question goes to you as well, isn't it? Like, is there anything that you feel like you wish us adults could understand about young people?
I can't lie, it goes back to what Tara said. It's the only thing I can think of, but if I was to think of something else.
Like, for example, like when it comes to like back before, they would think are like obviously coming from like from where they're from and stuff, like their original country and stuff. When they moved here, initially their thoughts were to obviously make a foundation and create stuff. But us being born here and being from here type thing, we have like a different mindset towards things. For example, like going to university. Now, for some people, they have different views on that. But then for like the older generation, most of them say to their kids, like, go to uni, go to uni, go to uni. But in today's society, there's so many other like avenues for you, like just like, if uni wasn't a thing, they could do apprenticeships and stuff like that. There's so many other like avenues to go to. But I feel like with some of the older generation, they're very stuck on just uni because they don't know about all the other routes.
There's only 3 roles you can do in uni in their eyes. Either a doctor, a lawyer, what was the other one?
yeah, you're right.
There's nothing else that you can be. An engineer, there you go. Everything else, means nothing. Yeah. Sorry, Abdul, you were saying something. I think Tarif had a light bulb moment.
I forgot. It's fine though.
Is there anything you want to probably add to that? Like, is there anything that you wish?
You had a good point.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. That's cool. All right. I hope that's really helpful. Is there anything you want to... Do you agree with what Tarif said? Because I personally feel like what Tarif is saying is, if basically the one... Oh, I forgot the question myself now. Literally. Hold on. What was the question again?
Well, what would you, like, the older generation kind of understands about the younger generation? What would you say?
Yeah. So what do you wish us adult understood about you? So don't put your culture and the way that you were brought up upon us, basically. Like basically treat you guys in the way that...
Yeah, there's a lot of things.
Don't get it twisted. I feel like there's some things that should be taught. Like,
yeah, 1,000%.
Like, I just don't think everything, like, as in, no, don't get twisted. Everything should be taught.
Yeah.
But I feel like definitely you can't assume the person's mindset's the same.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like the environmental factors and stuff are completely different to theirs. So in that case, when it comes to, for example, if my mom thought something, I wouldn't necessarily think like that because I know, like, maybe more or maybe less than the situation. You know, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Was you gonna say something, Baba?
It's okay.
You sure? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the second time I feel like you're about to say something, and then
no.
If that question was like to be put back to us, about Fatma, would you, if someone was to say to you, what's one thing that you wish your older generation understood about you? What would you? Is there anything that comes into mind?
I can't think of any.
Yeah,
I can't think of any, to be honestly. I mean, I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to say it.
I feel so bad. Fair enough. Sometimes we don't have the answer. We don't have the answers to everything, right? But I do feel like the main thing is definitely what Tarif said, because I can relate to it at my big age. Like, even something as simple as me wanting to do social media, or me not wanting to get married again after such a long time, and having that peer pressure of my family kind of like, don't do social media, go and get married, follow the old way of doing this and that. It is actually one of those things where it's like, oh, I wish you just understood that I don't have to go about things that way. Yeah. It's okay for me to not want to remarry. It's okay for me to want to do social media as long as I'm not out there doing some crazy stuff. It's okay for me to want to work, for example. It's okay for me to want to study, I don't know, engineering instead of being a nurse or a midwife. Do you know what I mean? Just those little things. So,
like, as you say in that, I kind of agree with you. You know, like in this, how do I say it, the older generation, they think that, you know, a lonely mum can never raise a child by herself. So they always say like, oh, why you need to get married. You need always a man in your life. But it's not true. I mean, I've done it without. Do you see what I mean? It's not necessary to have someone in your life. Yeah, it's good to have someone in your life, but not the sake of it. Do you see what I mean? Yeah. So there are things that you can do it that the old generation think you can't. Yeah. Do you see what I mean?
But then bear in mind, you're absolutely right. I think we went off topic a little bit, but you're absolutely right. Because for them, bear in mind, like for us, we're divorcees with children, right? Yeah. So we're independent. We work. We have our own homes. We can raise our own children, and so on, so on. That's why we think, oh, we can be single for a long time. We don't need a husband, right? But for them, it's different. Exactly. Because for them, they relied on the man's income. They relied on his home. If they broke up, I guess they would have to go back to their parents' house, which means the father has to
Yeah.
provide again.
Yeah.
And then they want to come out of that home and they
Yeah.
want to get remarried again as quickly as possible. But
Mm.
we don't, because
No.
I guess we see it as a form of freedom almost. It's like, oh, I've got my own things anyway. What do I need?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
if it's
yeah.
the right way to look
That's
at
what
things,
I
but that's
said. I
how
don't
we
know
see
how
things right now.
to elaborate it.
Yeah. Okay. All right, cool. Are we ready for the second question?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, second question was, how do you handle peer pressure, especially when it comes during? Oh, no. Yeah. How do you handle peer pressure, especially when you know the thing is not good or the situation is not good?
You
Yeah.
just remind yourself of the hereafter. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean? Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I'd say like if you're being pressured to do something that's wrong, and obviously if you're like very strict on your religion, just remind yourself of the hereafter.
But what if you're not a person that's like believing of God? Like, what if somebody who is not strict on their religion? What if somebody who's not
It depends what you're being peer pressured about.
So let's say, for example, someone is being peer pressured to have a little zoo, have a little smoke with the friends. It's like a party, and then they pressure this. Someone is peer pressuring this young teenage boy to come through and smoke with them, and it's like, nah, I don't want it, or even drinking or whatever it may be, and he doesn't want to do it, but he doesn't want to look not cool. So
Smoking doesn't make you cool.
yeah, of course it doesn't. But how would you, if you were in that situation right now and somebody was trying to make you do something you didn't want to do, how would you get yourself out of it? Or how have you
First, I
got yourself out
wouldn't
of
put
it?
myself in that position, but if I happen to be in that position,
Sorry, Baba, I don't think I can hear you. I'm sorry. Yeah, you wouldn't put yourself. That's a really good one, actually. Yeah.
I'd stay away from those kind of conflicts and those kind of scenarios. So, but if I was in that kind of position, for me, obviously, I told you I'd remind myself of where I'm going after this. But I don't really know, like, where to sit. I don't know if I wasn't like a Muslim or anything. I don't know what. I wouldn't have anything to rely on. Scary. I know.
Have you never been in a position where you probably were peer pressured into doing something that you didn't want to do?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
Just say no.
Just say no.
I don't care what they think of me. It doesn't matter. Like, you know what I'm saying? I kind of, everyone's different. I don't know what to tell them. I'll just say straight up no. I don't care.
I guess you're strong enough to say no, right? Maybe you have been raised in a way where you're able to kind of be like, no, I'm not doing that unless I want to do it. Maybe you were raised in a way where, you know black from white and red from yellow, but there might be people who don't know it, right? Or maybe who are scared to say no. Is there anything, maybe tariff, that you think that the person can do to get themselves out of that situation?
I feel like it just depends on who you're around,
Yeah.
and how you carry yourself. The truth is, if you're in that situation, then you chose to be in that situation. But nonetheless, obviously, if you have friends that you call friends,
Yeah.
friends would understand you. So if you're choosing not to do something, if they're mocking you, then that's not really a friend. So it's one of them ones where you should just know who you're around and who your circle is. If they really understand that, yo, this person doesn't like do it, then that friend would know not to even ask you if they were in that situation.
Yeah. That's really good as well. Yeah, that's a really good point. I think what I can add on to that is I'm surprised that you guys are like strong enough to kind of be like, yeah, no, I can just say no and it won't bother me, or I shouldn't put myself in that situation. Sometimes you don't put yourself in that situation. You just find yourself in a situation that is uncomfortable. And I tend to I would basically say, if you were put in that situation and you were forced to do something that didn't put your life at risk and you ended up doing something silly, don't be harsh on yourself. Just never see that person again. That person is not your friend. Exactly what you said earlier. That person is not your friend. If you ended up having a drink and you didn't want to have it, and your friend didn't understand when you said, hey, look, I'm good, I don't want it, and they were like, oh, no, you should have it so and so, and you did have it, cool, it's happened, because not everyone is strong enough to be like, no, I can't do it, I'm not going to do it. If you did do it, just don't put yourself back in that situation again. That person is not your friend. They're not at all. Because if that was your friend, they would be like, cool, no, this person doesn't drink, or I don't want to introduce them to that. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense, Abdul? So I don't know if there's
Yeah, same.
yeah,
Yeah, I agree with you.
because it can happen to even adults as well, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So
100%. It's
yeah,
just, you know what? Not even just wait until it happens to you. If you are part of that group and you've seen it happens to somebody
yeah,
within that group,
yeah.
that should be a wake up call for you. Don't wait until it happens to you. That's it. Walk away at that point.
Yeah,
Because at the end, you never know when the table's going to turn around.
that's so true.
You see what I mean?
That's so true.
So just don't wait until it happens to you. If you see, like, you don't know about them, you thought they were your good
Choose
friends,
your friends wisely.
you know, and you're with them and you thought that you've chosen wisely and you've seen something, that's it. That should be a wake up call for you.
Yeah.
Just walk away.
I can never sit on a table where people are bullies. Are people I can't sit on a table. If I feel like this table here is interrogating another table or disrespecting somebody else or peer pressuring someone else into doing something, it could be anything. You won't see me at that table again. I can't do it. Like, honestly, I can't be around people like that. And I think it takes a lot of willpower and a lot of iman and self-love to kind of like say, I don't want to be a part of that. Do you know what I mean? Because if you
trust
don't
me, if
walk
I
away,
come across something like that,
yeah,
and I'm like in that situation and I'm sitting, regardless, like if it's somebody's birthday or what, I'll just go. I'll say sorry, something came up, I need to go.
Yeah.
I'll just go. But I'm not just gonna be part of it. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
I won't even wait and say, oh, it's, you know, this person's birthday. Just let me like tolerate it and sit there. No.
Yeah.
I'll just make excuse and get out.
No, I hear that. I hear that. Do you know why you're talking about this? I remembered a little situation back when I was in school, right? And I think I was in year 11. I can't remember. I was in school anyway, maybe year 10, year 11. No, I just had Abdullahi, so I was still in school. Anyways, I can't stand bullies. I can't. Something just triggers in me and I feel like I become superwoman. I cannot stand bullies, right? So I was getting on the bus and I see all of these, after school, everyone's on the bus and everyone's just screaming and shouting and everyone thinks they're it and everyone thinks they're ghetto until they see their mama, right? Everyone thinks they're all it. And then there was this young boy who was sitting a couple of seats away from the front. And basically, they were teasing him to the core and they wanted him to do something that was not nice. They were teasing him and he felt so insecure. I can hear the conversation. I don't want to put myself in that situation. I'm keep looking back to see if he's okay. And eventually I heard someone get like a newspaper and must have smacked it on the back of his head. And they were like, get up, come and do this or whatever it was they were trying to say to him. I must have just got up and I sat next to the boy and I was just like talking to him. I was like, hey, look, it's all good. I'm going to sit next to you. They can't do anything to you. Why would they not do anything to him? But that just instantly made them just back away. They were just like, oh, you're this or you're that, whatever. They backed away. I sat with him. I was like, I'm going to get off the bus wherever you're getting off. I'll walk you home and then I'll get on the bus back to go home. And it's like, no, you don't have to do that. I was like, no, we're going to do that today. That's okay. I need you to be able to say no, and I need you to be able to like walk with somebody in the future as well, not be by yourself. And it just reminded me of that. Like sometimes you can't walk away from bad. Although I couldn't challenge them because I myself was young, right?
Yeah.
And they could have turned on me. Instead, I just sat next to him, kept him company, walked him off the bus, walked him towards his house, got back on the bus and went home. So I don't know how we got to that, but we did. Yeah. But yeah, cool. Is there anyone else that wants to add anything to it or? Yeah? Are we good? All right. I don't know if we have time to answer a third question because we are running short on time for this clip here. Tarif, do you want to wrap it up for us?
I think we still have.
Do we have time for this episode still? One more question?
Yeah.
Do we have one more question?
Yeah.
Cool. Tell me, guys. Tell me. All right, cool. So, what is the biggest lesson you've learned so far that you think will help younger people in the future? What is a lesson you've learned so far at your still young age that you want to share that could help young people in the future? And do you know what? These questions I wish you guys had known so you can prepare an answer for. And obviously your heads might be blank for a moment, but think of a situation or something that you have learned and you think, do you know what? This could help a young person in the future?
I think you should lock in from a young age.
What does a lock-in mean?
Like as that means like as in like stay locked in. So like know your goal. If you have a goal, stay at it from a very young age. Like don't make your age stop you from trying to do it. If that makes sense. Like if you want to start a business, start it when you're 17, 18. If you want to get married, get married. If you don't want to get married, don't get married. But do whatever you feel like you can do, and if you have a goal, make sure you stick to it. Don't give it up.
Basically.
Pursue it. So if you want to become, I don't know, a dentist, make sure you lock in and actually do it. But don't wait and like don't wait until you're like 24, 25, 26 to do whatever you think you should do now. So if you want to start a clothing brand, start it now. If you want to do whatever, do it now.
And if you flop, you flop.
That's it.
Right?
Take a risk. Without risk, there's no reward. But the truth is in like I'm speaking from me, as in like I'm glad I took a risk. Like, and it's paying off. You know what I mean? So it's more where like I think other people should do the same as well.
Yeah. Alhamdulillah. That's such a nice, that's a good one, Tarif. Thank you for sharing that. Abdul, how about you?
Kind of relates to what Tarif said, but get your deen-wise straight from a young age. There's no point in pursuing anything if your relationship with Allah isn't there.
I think you're sharing something very powerful, son. And I said this every time you've spoken, but yeah, you're covering your mouth. No one can hear you. Go on. Say that, please.
I'm speaking into the mic. They can hear me.
Okay.
But I don't know what else to say. That's it.
Okay, because that is so deep, wallahi. Like that's something I said it. I said it in the previous podcast before as well, Abdullah. That is something so admirable about you, like how you are on point with your deen. The love and fear together that you have for Allah is admirable, and you don't see many young people. And this is gonna sound weird. You don't look it. You don't look like somebody who's practicing. Do you know what I mean? So if you can elaborate, like I think you're sharing something that's so valuable. I think we'd very much appreciate it. Like, how did you lock yourself in? I use your word. How did you lock yourself into the deen at a young age? Because I think I don't want to take all the credit for it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've raised you quite moderate, and I found you at some point in your life where you were just like locked to practicing your deen, which is so beautiful. Is it because you went to Yemen? Is it because you went to Egypt? What is it? What made you want to lock in?
If I was to say one thing, I'd say everyone's different, but like people would lock in for different reasons. For example, one person might lock in because they're scared. One person might lock in because they like what they hear about where they're going afterwards. One person might lock in because of hope or faith that they have nothing but. Do you get Allah? But I guess everyone's different. My reason, I did have a couple reasons, which I think was fear and sort of like, I don't know, I can't remember, it was a while ago. I can't remember, but I just set a goal and I just stuck to it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just make a goal, start off slow, and then just build your way up. And from there, it should become easier. Do you get what I'm saying?
What was the fear? Fear of what?
I don't know. I just fear. I fear of like where you're going afterwards, isn't it?
The hereafter.
Of course, of course.
Okay. And did you start off first with Salah? Did you first start off listening to lectures or?
No, just Salah. Because I already knew the basics. I already knew everything. And I remember just saying like, what am I doing in my life? You know? Like, when you stop praying, obviously I was at a time when I was in Yemen, when I was younger, where I'd pray everything. And then I came to London and then it just stopped slowly and then it kind of just hit me like, is this what I want to be doing? You know what I'm saying? And then you just slowly start getting there. Like obviously London and Yemen is two complete different countries. But like the society and everything around you. Like, you can't let it distract you. You gotta actually know what you want in this life and know it's a test. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if you just fall into the desires of the world, you're not gonna like what you're going after this. You can't expect to do wrong, not prioritize what's right and straight, and expect it to be all flowers afterwards. Like, I think for some people, even death might be a wake up call. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of things might be a wake up call to different
Like a
people.
death of somebody, family dying, or someone close to them dying.
Exactly that. But like I said, everyone's different. Me, I just set a goal, and I was just like disappointed in myself. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to do better. And for some people, that might, be their push as well. But I feel like everyone just needs a push, or like your friends as well is very important. Who you surround yourself with. Like, if you're surrounded by bad people, they don't pray, they don't do this, they don't do that. You're gonna be that person. You know what I'm saying? Friends are very important as well.
I agree.
I feel I'm getting a lecture, bro.
No, it's good. It's good because I guess there are people who want to be praying or they want to be practicing their deen and they're thinking, how do I do that? Where would you tell them to start from? Like, how should they start? If somebody turns around right now and says to you, Abdul, like, I want to pray, how do I do it? Like, what do I do? Where do I start from? I'm keep starting, I'm keep finishing.
If you start off like, I don't know, there's two ways. You can either start off slow and build your way up. Because for some people, if you start off like, it's one time, like 5 prayers, all sunnahs and everything, you're gonna find it more harder. But for some people, it's the opposite. Like, if you start off doing all of that, like doing the sunnahs after you pray, like doing, like, just the basics will be easier rather than doing the basics and the, what I'm saying, the extras. But for some people, when you start off slow and build your way up, then they find it easier. Do you get?
Yeah.
But for me, I just started like harder. So I did the basics and the extras as well. So whereas when I stopped doing the extras, I still like knew like if I'm not doing this, then I'm just stopping completely. Do you get? So I'd say, in my opinion, would be do all I want. Like, not all I want. Like, do what's needed, and then if you can do
when you say what's needed, you mean do the wajib?
Of course,
do
the
fard,
wajib.
yeah.
Do what's needed, and then do the extras if you can. Do you
Yeah.
get? So when you stop doing the extras or you don't feel like doing it, you still have the what's needed there. Like,
Fair.
you have to do it. Do you get?
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was very good. Thank you for sharing that. And I think it's important. Both perspectives are very important because locking in your ambition and following through your dreams is so important because a lot of young people feel like they can't they want to wait until they're older before they start something. Or let me just do that when I'm older. So starting it from a young age, exploring at a young age, and then seeing where it goes. Love that. Lock the dreams in at a young age. And obviously the other side of it, I love how you both like spoke about the two most important things, like, and then the other part of it, your deen, in the importance of your deen as well. And I think that will prevent you from probably committing a lot of sins. I mean, you're still going to commit sins. We're still human beings. And when you're a teenager, it's even worse. There's a lot of exploring that a lot of teenagers do. So I think it kind of prevents you as well and protects you from a lot of things when you're practicing your salah. So thank you for sharing that. I'm glad I asked the third question because I feel like that was the best one. So yeah, thanks guys. And I really hope it helps the young people out there with what you guys have said. So thank you.
Yes, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As I said before, it took us a big preparation for the questions and stuff, getting people to send them in. So if you have any more questions, send it in onto our email, even on our Instagram, just DM us. But yeah, as I said, if you like this video, leave a like, comment down below, and make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.